I know it was you. Yeah, she doesn't want to talk about it. But anyway, hello Bitbiters, and welcome to Retro Recipes. And the thing she doesn't want to talk about as she cowers her head is this. You see, you may have noticed in many of my recent videos that Apple IIe is switched off, whereas the other computers are all working. And there's a reason for this. I came to use that Apple IIe, I turned it on, and this happened. I realized quickly that there was a disk stuck in the drive, and I certainly hadn't done that. Well, I took the drives off to repair them. Hell. And, well, the culprit revealed itself. And she looks so innocent. Well, I thought it would be a nice idea to invite Ladyfractic, to come and help repair Puppyfractic's mischief. So that's what's on the recipe today in this Apple-inspired episode of Retro Recipes. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hey guys, so thanks to Mr. Ladyfractic, let's see if we can fix this. So this is the Apple IIe Disk 2, Drive 1, and it looks like there's a disk caught inside. As you can see, it is Frogger, and we could just rip this out and hurt it, but Puppyfractic has really asked me to be gentle with this because it's Frogger and he used to play this with his mom. So that's very important. Of course, family is first. So I've tried to pull on it, which of course you shouldn't do too much because I'm sure it could damage it. They are so fragile. Let's see. Just gonna open it. Now, I'm sure Puppyfractic may put in some sound effects for unscrewing, but I often supply my own. This screw is silent though. Alright, so we've taken out all the screws and don't want to be too rough with it. Come on, buddy. There we go. Oh, isn't that pretty? It's not even that dusty. There is Frogger. Okay, so we're just going to give it a little tug again, just to take a look. See if we can see where it's getting stuck. Aha! I found it. What is this? Oh, it looks like it's actually part of the disc. So, it's getting caught on this little lip right here. If I just push it down. Oh. And Frogger has been saved. Alright, the culprit is a black sticker over the right protection tab. I'm sure it's just, you know, it's gotten old over time, and I'm sure this game has been played hundreds of times, and with the wear and tear it just got a bit sad. But I believe I have fixed the disk drive. Since we have it open and ready to go, I think we could do another repair. This is drive 1, and we have drive 2 right over there. Now on drive 2, the disk belt broke. It perished. Puppyfractic. Yeah, I'm going with it. And Puppyfractic used a rubber band to fix it, which was okay, but because it's just a regular rubber band, it expands and contracts with the temperature of the room. So he ordered new belts, and since we got 2 of them, we might as well replace it on both. This is a drive belt. It doesn't have any pull to it. See? Bottoms up. Just gonna remove this so that it doesn't pull. There we go. There's the belt. So we've got, see the old and the new? The new one is, I want to say a little bit thicker, but who cares? As we all know, size does not matter.
Phew.
There we go. That was super easy. Then we just replace the bottom. I don't think anybody says bottoms down, but we can always start a new trend. I'm gonna put our top back on. Very noisy. Last one. All right. Everything's all good. Time to put it on eBay. Now, we like to use the original equipment as often as we can, but when that doesn't work, you can always use a floppy emu.
What's an emu?
An emu?
Yeah.
It's a large feathered bird, just slightly smaller than an ostrich.
An emu.
An emu.
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 No, that's a cow.
It's a bird. Anyway, if you want to build your own floppy emu, we recommend PCBY, because as we all know, PCB stands for printed circuit board.
Perhaps computer's broken.
Perhaps computer's broken.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now we have drive 2. Let's see what we can do for this guy. Ladyfractic was kind enough to remove all the screws for me. He doesn't know where he put them, but that's his problem. So as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of corrosion. Let's zoom in for the kids in the back row. Oh, fancy clips. What is that? So we're going to use some contact cleaner, not to be confused with contact lens cleaner. You will go blind. And with my third hand, I'm going to get some assistance. We're going to try to get some of this debris, as Perry says, to just blast out with compressed air. Oh. That's always more fun than it needs to be. So it looks like this right here is rust, but it's not on a sensitive component, so I don't think we need to fight it.
Well, she is doing a great job so far, but what I forgot to tell her was the reason for that corrosion was this dead worm that I found in the case a few years ago. I know worms like apples, but that was ridiculous.
All right, so we're gonna go back to the belt. So we're gonna flip it over again, bottoms up. And there's our belt. And as you can see, it is a black rubber band. Oh. Sorry, Perry. Hook it onto this side. Catch one part of the wheel. Hold it down like that and rotate. And it feeds itself, just like Puppyfractic. Put our fancy clip back on. So I'm actually going to leave this unscrewed because Puppyfractic is going to calibrate the new belt.
Thank you very much to Mrs. Mr. Ladyfractic. Alright, let's pop in drive 1 and see if the disk now works and doesn't get stuck. And of course it won't get stuck because we've removed the Write Protect tab. Remind me not to write to it. Yes, success. Good job, Ladyfractic.
Frogger has been saved.
He sure has. Or is it a she? Can't tell at this resolution.
Ah.
Okay, now for drive 2. So we'll put that into the drive card. And this one we're going to have to calibrate because it's got a new belt and I had calibrated it to the previous one. So I've got this utility disk which includes a disk drive test, and this will help us calibrate the disk drive. So we just choose drive speed, drive 2, and I've inserted a blank disk so it can write and read to it from it. And this is the screw we're going to use to adjust the speed of the drive. So as you can see, the current speed is too fast. It's 329 miles per hour, revs per minute. And it needs to be between 296 and 302. So I'm just going to turn this screw slowly. And I want to get it down to about 299. All right, lovely. 299 it is. But you know, there was an old-fashioned way of doing this as well. They printed these markers on the base, and depending what power supply speed you use, 50 or 60 Hertz, if you look at the markers in very low light, they'll appear to hold still when they're at the correct speed. So let's run a full diagnostic test. All my systems are functioning perfectly. So let's put it back together, and I found the screws. They were exactly where I thought they were in the shop. Ta-da! And we can explore some of the system info of this Apple. And the memory test's okay too. So now we've got a bit of time left. Let's have a little fun. This is a program called ADT Pro, and I can use this serial to USB cable, plug one end into the super serial card of the Apple IIe, and the USB end, well, my Mac is USB-C. Always the third way around with USB. So this is a serial to USB-C cable now. And we installed the same program on the MacBook. There's a lot of other configuration which I won't bore you with, but once it's up and running, the two machines can talk to each other. A whopping 115,200 baud. So if I hit directory, I can actually see a listing of the folder on the MacBook Pro. So we hit receive. I'm going to choose this disk image. It's a game I used to love, Blitzkrieg. I choose a target drive on the real computer. Well, they're both real computers, I guess. And it writes that disk image that I downloaded from the internet through the USB to serial cable and onto drive 2. Takes about 30 seconds. I sped that up a bit for you. And then if I put that newly written disk in drive 1 and reboot the computer, yeah, then we get this lovely menu up with all these games. One of them is Blitzkrieg. Now, I have really fond memories of buying this game with my dad at a computer shop in Twickenham. Shooting down with your gun. I'll use the keyboard. And I hope you'll agree this game has probably the best sound effect in the history of gaming. Yes, first time. Ah, missed it. Yes, on the rebound. Hey. Oh, that is so juicy. Running out of ammo. Alright, not bad for a beginner. Well, I've put a nice label on this disc, but would you believe I've never been able to find this game on Fleabay? So if you do happen to have a boxed copy, I'd love to come to some arrangement, so please reach out. I'm also going to hide this a little further away from prying paws. We'll box it up and put it up there. Beat that, Puppyfractic. And in case she gets any other ideas, we'll put these discs under lock and key. Finally, I understand why they had locks. It's for mammals who don't have opposable thumbs. Thanks for watching, and if you have opposable thumbs, subscribe below, and cheerio.
PCB way. I realized it after it came out of my